Once again, back at you. Olo, what's going on? Back with you with another video. You know how it goes, man. I gotta keep it coming, man. Educational. You know what I'm saying? So what's today's topic? Breaking out of ways of thinking. Very important. This, like I said, is always gonna connect to my other videos and just drawing a correlation between everything so you bring it all together. Mental fortitude, social engineering, fear. Now it's breaking out of ways of thinking. So, key insights. Thought stopping techniques can help interrupt unwanted or negative thought patterns, promoting a more positive mindset. So, you got to develop, thought stopping techniques to try to get you to focus more on positive thoughts. So, you can have a positive mindset, and they can't, and it's not supposed to interrupt the negative thoughts is not supposed to interrupt the positive. It's not going to be perfect. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be perfect. You got to work on it. It's just like with anything. As time goes on and more you keep doing it, the better you'll become. So strategies like using a mental stop command, visualization, or redirecting focus to a physical sensation can effectively manage intrusive thoughts. So let me break that down. You got to visualize what you want. You got to visualize all the positive things that you want. So that could send your focus on that thing instead of thinking about something negative, those intrusive negative thoughts. Focus on that positive thing that you want, whatever it is, whether it's a goal or endeavor or anything that's positive, that's aligned with your purpose. Always constantly think about it, and that's gonna have a mental stop command because you're always visualizing it, and it's always directing whatever you think about and whatever you putting your focus on. That's where your energy follows. So you got to focus on that, and that's gonna manage any intrusive negative thoughts that you might have. You see what I'm saying? So transform your mindset. If you want a prosperous life, you got to transform your mindset. It's just that simple. You know what I'm saying? You got to transform your mindset. I'm gonna follow my own advice. So very important. Just try to think positive and focus your mind on positive stuff. Redirect and retransform your mind. That's what it's about. Transforming your mind and having a new perspective on life. So, so recognize limiting beliefs. The journey begins with identifying the thoughts and beliefs that are holding you back. So, that's half the battle right there. So, whatever limiting beliefs or anything that's like facilitating that limiting belief, like as far as like like if you in an environment that's negative, maybe that could be contributing to those negative thoughts and then the self-belief and those limiting beliefs that's holding you back. You got to recognize that and deal with that and tackle that. That's why it says recognize limiting beliefs. The journey begins with identifying the thoughts and beliefs that are holding you back. So it might not be your own. It might be your thoughts. If it is do like what I just said earlier. Focus on the positive and get those negative, intrusive thoughts out. Focus on that's where your energy goes. But if it's not you, because sometimes it's not you, but you wonder like why you can't get ahead, it might be your environment, it might be the people you're around. They're probably planting seeds of doubt. You see what I'm saying? You got to be mindful of everything that's in your environment, everything that you do, anything that's contributing to self belief and limiting the beliefs. It could be your behaviors, it could be your whatever trauma you have from the past, or it could be, like I said, environment. You gotta get it out of there, man. Especially because that's the worst thing. Like I always say this, right? Planting seeds of doubt is bad altogether. Limiting beliefs is bad altogether, whether it's yours or somebody else. But the worst thing is somebody else's fear. Somebody projecting their own fears on you, and they planting seeds of doubt. Because that's the worst thing. You don't want to grow old and be like one of them motherfuckers that be like, yo, I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have done that. But you didn't, because you let somebody else's fears stop you. That's one of the worst. That's even worse than your fears. Fear, period. Limiting beliefs, period. From you or anybody. But the worst is somebody else's. That's why you got to eliminate all that shit. I don't care who it is, man. I don't care. Friends, family, I don't care who it is. Get them out of your environment, man. You don't need that shit. Because that shit is more detrimental than you think. You got to think about mental fortitude, mental health. So, once again, recognize limiting beliefs. The journey begins with identifying the thoughts and beliefs that are holding you back. Once you identify that, then you know what it is. Because knowing is half the battle. Knowing what's going on, knowing what you got going on is half the battle. And then you take the steps towards focusing that, like I said, positive energy, positive thoughts on that in your goals and whatever you want to accomplish. But you got to get those limiting beliefs out of here, man. You know what I'm saying? So replace them with affirmations like, I am capable and deserving of success. It's more than just saying it, of course, but that's definitely gonna help. Because that's where it starts, the thoughts. So replace it with the positive thoughts, positive affirmations. Keep saying it every day. I'm capable. Every day I'm capable. Every day I'm gonna be successful. And before you know it, that's all you're gonna be thinking about, because it's repetition. You keep saying it, keep saying it, keep saying it to yourself, and next thing you know, you're not gonna have no more negative, intrusive thoughts, no limiting beliefs, none of that. You know what I'm saying? That's where it starts. So replace them with positive affirmations like, I am capable and deserving of success. Every day, just wake up. Even if you gotta wake up before you go to bed, just keep saying that. Keep saying that. Keep saying it. Keep saying it repeatedly, every day. Even throughout the day, if you're at your job or whatever you got going on throughout the course of the day, just say throughout the day. You see what I'm saying? So the next step is cultivate a growth mindset, right? Embrace the concept of a growth mindset where challenges are seen as opportunities to learn rather than obstacles. So what that is, and my life is a perfect example, because I always got something going on. It's always something thrown my way, right? So what that means is, when you face with some adversity, don't look at it as like, why is this happening to me? Why is it happening to me? Why is it? Because even me, I say that sometimes. But I should be at the point where, and I am at it, but sometimes I catch myself going back down that road. But I know better. So instead of saying that, say, what can I learn from this? Get the lesson out of it, because there's always a lesson. Get whatever you need to get out of that, because that obstacle, you gotta get over it, and it's gonna be growing pains. But within those growing pains, that's where the strength comes from. That's what you gotta understand. So instead of saying, Why is this happening to me? Say, what can I learn from it? What's gonna be the outcome as far as like anything positive that's gonna come out? Because it's gonna something positive is gonna come out of it. Don't think negative about it. It's just a storm that's passing away. You see what I'm saying? So take the jewels out of it. That's where the mental fortitude comes out. I'm gonna always stress that mental fortitude. You gotta have mental fortitude in everything you do. Remember that, mental fortitude. That's how you keep your mind focusing on those things that I just mentioned. And the stronger you become. So, like I said, focus on the positive. That's going to have you develop a growth mindset. Instead of saying, why is this happening to me? Say, what am I going to learn from that? So this mindset emphasizes resilience and adaptability. Remember what I said in that last video with mental fortitude? Resilience. I'm a very resilient person because I've been through a whole lot, and I always come out on top. That builds resilience. And then you able to adapt. That's why it says adaptability. You're able to adapt to any situation because you're so experienced with facing life's challenges that it becomes a norm. So you learn to adapt to everything. Anything that's thrown your way, you just adapt. That's how, like I said, you build mental fortitude, those psychological skills that you learn. You learn how to adapt to it and apply it and put it into action. Not too many people know how to do that, man. You're gonna be a force to reckon with. Once you develop that mindset, it's a wrap, man. You're just gonna be, I wouldn't say, let me say unstoppable. I'm gonna say unstoppable. Not untouchable, but unstoppable. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta develop that growth mindset, man. You can't just be defeated up here. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, they get defeated and they just don't know what to do. They just give up. Defeated, like life is kicking my ass. I can't do this no more. No. Anything that you throw your way, you gotta have the mental fortitude. It's always a way around it. It's always a way through it. Trust me. You just gotta see your way through it. So that's another thing with breaking out of ways of thinking. So another strategy is set clear, attainable goals. Without goals, a mindset shift might lack direction. Establish specific, measurable, and attainable goals that guide your progression. So let me break that down once again, because I did mention this briefly in my last video, mental fortitude. So once again, like I said, there's no need to strain your brain. Because you, like I said in the last video, you got to think about your mental health. So set attainable goals, something that you can attain. When I say attainable goals, you can still be dream big. But when I say attainable, meaning you know how to break it down into small steps. That way it's not so overwhelming. You see what I'm saying? When you break it down into small steps, it gives you kind of like direction and it gives you structure. That way you're not all over the place. You know what I'm saying? You got to have some structure and direction. So break those goals, break the big goals and down to small attainable goals, because those small goals are going to equal to the big goal. And you don't have to stress yourself out so much. Well, what should I do? Where should I start? Start from here. Break that down. Start from here. Once you finish this, you go to the next step. Then once you finish that, you go to the next step, so on and so forth. And that's how you get to the end goal. You don't have to strain your brain. You don't have to. It's hard enough as it is. Don't make it harder than what it is. Life is simple, but we make it complicated because we don't know how to attack a problem. Like I said, break down that big goal to small attainable goals until you reach that end goal, and then just keep going like that. Tackle every single goal like that. That's how you're gonna get those goals accomplished. You gotta break it down and have structure and direction. You see, and that builds your resilience, like I said, and that builds your confidence. So, and then after that, guide your progression, meaning see where you progress that and know, okay, say that I did this because you would, every single small goal that you accomplish, you already track your progression because you see, okay, I'm right here, I accomplished this, so now I'm this far, now I got to go here. So I'm this, you got this end big goal, but you tackle this one goal, small goal, and so that's your progression. After that, then you keep going to the next one. Then you see what I'm saying? So it's kind of like a format in its organization, in its structure. So you track your progression like that better. You see what I'm saying? So it all works out. That's why you gotta break it down. Set clear, attainable, small goals. And that's how you develop a growth mindset. And that's how you break out of ways of thinking. And that's how you get your goals accomplished. So, what's the next step out of breaking out of ways of thinking? Foster positive relationships. The company you keep significantly impacts your mindset. Surround yourself with positive, successful individuals who inspire and challenge you. So now, we're going to stay on this for a little longer. Because the key to success is definitely the work. Whatever work you put in, whatever the output is, that's what you're going to get. But it's definitely the work, no doubt about it. We're not taking nothing away from that. But the most important, or something just as important, is the relationships you have. And it's the energy around, and it's the company you keep. If you're constantly around people that just keep planting seeds of doubt, and they always negative, and they always having self-limited belief, and they always projecting or saying negative things and shunning your dreams, and just, they're just not positive people. It don't matter who it is. It could be your family, it could be your friends, it could be anybody that you got around you that's not supporting you, that's not trying to empower you, that's not saying anything positive about anything. Get them away from. That's the most important thing. See, that like I said, that is more. If you ask me, that's probably more important than the work. Let me not say that. It's just as important, but it's not less important. It's definitely not less. Those relationships, because those relationships, like I said, foster positive. Those relationships is gonna keep you grounded. Those relationships are gonna keep your mind. You know what I'm saying? Your mind set in a growth mindset. Because if you keep surrounding yourself by all that negative energy and people that's planting seeds of doubt, no matter how strong you are, how much mental fortitude you are, it's going to affect you in some way. It might not destroy you, but why would you even give them that opportunity to begin with? You see what I'm saying? You don't want to, see, life is simple. Just eliminate that. You got to eliminate anything that's going to hinder your growth. That's including people, your environment. So get them out of there. Foster positive relationships. The people, See, if you surround yourself with positive people, they don't necessarily have to be rich, but they have to have a certain mindset and they have to be working towards something. You see what I'm saying? They have to be they have to have they have to be on the same frequency as you and inspire you and challenge you. You see what I'm saying? I don't got too many, but I got a few. Everybody else, as you can see, you see me, I be dolo most of the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't nothing. But those relationships are very important. Develop healthy, positive relationships with people that want to see you grow, that want to see you win, that inspire you, that challenge you. That's very important. Extremely important. Develop those relationships. I don't care if it's small. If you got 2, 3, 4, 5 positive people, that's all you need sometimes, man. You don't need 15, 20, 100 motherfuckers around just to say, yo, I got all these people I know. Yeah, you know them, but what that mean? Are they empowering you? Or are they planting seeds of doubt? You got to figure it out. So very important. Foster positive relationships. Okay, now, the next step. Invest in continuous learning. Knowledge is a powerful tool that facilitates mindset transformation. Invest in education through courses, workshop, or self-study. Now, you don't really necessarily have to invest, like as far as like, maybe a college degree or even if you go to take some courses online. You can. I'm not saying that's not because at one point I was going to college, but that's not necessary. As long as you strengthening your mind, you study, you reading books, whatever. Even if you want to take courses, you can do whatever you want, but make sure you keeping this sharp. So when they say invest, it doesn't necessarily have to mean a financial investment, like as far as in paying for college. Just invest. If you got to buy a book, if you got to go to the library, if you invest in your learning, keep your mind sharp. This is where it's at. Keep your mind sharp. I keep my mind sharp. I read. I could do more reading than I do now, but I'm just saying I still read. It's never too late. You never get too old to learn anything. You got to learn. Just keep reading. Keep studying. Keep learning new things, man. That's how you're gonna get. You're gonna cultivate that growth mindset by keep wanting to learn. So invest in your learning. Very important. So last but not least, explore high value financial strategies. Once your mindset is geared toward growth, explore financial avenues that align with your new perspective. So, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm a finance guru. I got a lot of things I got to work on. I got to get, my finances in order. But I do explore avenues, definitely, like real estate, stock. I got my own online business. So I'm definitely have a mindset for that. I just got to expand. I got to excel at that. But that's where it starts. Don't just limit yourself to just a job. You know what I'm saying? Job you're not going to be financially free over a damn job, bro. It's just what it is. I was talking with my coworker with the other day. You know what I'm saying? They designed it like that way, man. You got to get out of that rat race for real. That's not gonna get you financial freedom. It's not. You do what you got to do. I get it. You know what I'm saying? We all got to do what we got to do. I've been working since I was a teenager, but I understand that that's not gonna get you where you need to be in life. You got to explore other avenues. You got to expand your horizons. And that means different financial strategies. Make investments. You know what I'm saying? Like if you want to invest in Bitcoin, if you want to like open up a business, You could do that. Real estate, everything. There's plenty of things out here where you could put your money in and get a return on it. A job is not, I'm not saying quit your job, do what you got to do, make your ends meet, pay your bills, but you got to have other things going on. Plus, that gives you a sense of personal satisfaction when you invest in yourself, man. Like, you going to a job every day, that's not investing in yourself. You got to have other things going on outside of that, man. Work on your credit. Do what you got to do, man, to have that sense of fulfillment. You see what I'm saying? You don't want to just clock in and clock out and that's your life. That's fucking misery right there, to be honest with you. So, gratitude plus mindfulness. Acknowledging what you have and remaining present reduces anxiety about the future, fostering a mindset of abundance rather than scarcity. So, very important. Be grateful for what you got. Thank the Lord, thank the Most High for what you got. Gratitude is very important. That's another thing with having a growth mindset and breaking out of ways of thinking. Gratitude. Being mindful of what you got and being thankful of what you got. Because some of us lose touch of that, maybe because we came into a little more, whatever the case may be. But you gotta stay grateful and you gotta have gratitude. You see what I'm saying? And then, because if remaining present reduces anxiety about the future, fostering a mindset of abundance too. Fostering a mindset of abundance rather than scarcity. So, don't always think about what you don't got, because then that's going to foster a mindset of scarcity. Think of abundance. It don't matter even if you don't got it. You already have it. And then be grateful of what you got. See, when you're grateful of what you got and then know that you're going to have that, that gets the scarcity mindset. You know what I'm saying? That gets that scarcity mindset out of you. That's why you got to have gratitude, because one, you just want to be appreciative of what you have. Two, it gets that scarcity mindset out of there. You don't want to have a scarcity mindset. You have a mindset of abundance. You already have it. It's just a matter of time before you get it. That's all it is. You already got it. So that's it, Just we touched on, a few things with breaking out of ways of thinking and having a growth mindset. So I hope this video was informative, as usual. Hope you could draw a correlation to all these videos, because like I said, all of them are in connection. And we're going to close out. But before we do that, I just would like to, say check out my my Prince of Power website. That's the website. It's not under this video. It's on my homepage. There's a link under my homepage. You could check out the website. I got the merchandise. Like I mentioned before, I'll be making some new more brand videos with my new merchandise. So just be on the lookout for that. But in the meantime, hope you guys have a blessed day, and we're going to close out. Olo.